Hello everyone, this is Luna, and I'm back with another video for Vanguard Zero. It's time for the shutdown arc to continue. Now, if you're wondering why I'm back here, it's because the emulator froze. It was before I got back, but I also just kept writing the description for the last video. And I'm just like, I feel like I want to talk about this, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. But I think that the reason it hurts isn't exactly because of the bias. Let me explain. I feel like I'm often treated like shit. My feelings haven't always been valued. And there are people out there that would say that I'm being a selfish bitch. That I shouldn't be complaining about anything. Anything? Okay, well, sure, maybe right now I shouldn't be complaining about anything. But that doesn't mean I'm in less pain just because you think I shouldn't be complaining. Should I be in pain? No. Am I? Yes. Am I contributing? Well, there is a very complex answer to that, and it is very difficult to address. But in all honesty, my position is... Some people would say I don't understand what real struggle actually is. They would think that I'm acting very, very privileged. And I'm like, okay, I'm privileged. And now can we get to the part where I'm still traumatized even though I'm privileged? Oh, and can we get to the part where abuse is still abuse no matter how old you are? Can we get to that? Because I seriously hate this logic here. Mom's logic is understandable. She's young. And also rich people are bastards most of the time. But, I mean, there's a massive difference between Shion and, Yuya. Yuya, who actually deserves this happening to him, versus Shion having this happen to him. But, if I had to pick, Shion is at least nicer and has less of a superiority complex compared to Yuya, who obviously likes people to be beneath him because he's trash. But, yeah. In real life, I'm just like, I am technically trapped in poverty right now, maybe even below that standard. And I don't know how I'm going to survive after a while, and meanwhile, I'm just over here waiting until something snaps. I mean, I just don't really think it makes sense to tell me that I don't know how suffering is. I know suffering. I know how it works. Listen, guys, I wouldn't have partial anhedonia if I've never suffered anything. I wouldn't be on medication if I didn't need it. I need medication, okay? But even if there was a miracle and I somehow stopped needing medication, the fact I've spent most of my life dependent on it really wouldn't change that I've still spent most of my life dependent on it. So let's suppose that I eventually no longer need medication. Some miracle happens that is not realistic, but let's suppose it happens. The hypothetical, impossible scenario. I stop needing medication, I'm mentally stable, I'm generally the kind of person where you'd expect to be capable of working. I spent most of my life going through all of this bullshit over and over and over and over. And now, finally, I'm what's considered normal in some sense. That doesn't change my life up to that point. That doesn't mean that I can just erase all of that. And that doesn't mean there wouldn't still be a mark left on me. I mean, I've still been through a lot of shit. I'm 31. You expect a 31-year-old to just uninstall everything from her past? My childhood was very dark and messed up. Even if I do someday recover, maybe not even There are just so many hypotheticals that are unlikely to happen. But regardless, I'm just thinking about the people that would just compare me and my sister and think that oh, she absolutely is in the right. She should be complaining. You are not listening to her, and also you shouldn't complain because you've never been through what she has. People just cut at me, dig everything inside of me. Words do hurt. Words do hurt. People like to say they're harmless, and most of the time they are. But they can and do hurt. And I know that I like to think words are just words, but if you hear something often enough, those words are going to become more than just words. They're going to sink deep into your soul. They're going to begin to hurt you, and then your mental state is going to be messed up beyond repair. Because words do in fact hurt. Why do you think slurs are inappropriate? Why do you think people say not to use slurs? Because slurs have been used to hurt people, to make them feel inferior and lesser. And honestly, I feel like if someone's going to compare my trauma to my sister's trauma, that is just as bad as this. I feel like is just reminding me of those people. Those people that would make a comparison that I don't know true hardship. I don't know anything about how real life is. Any of it. I'm just sitting over here like, yeah, but anhedonia is anhedonia. I still experience that shit. It may be partial, but it's still there. And I know words hurt because my words are why I have anhedonia. I'm the reason it developed, and I used words to get to this state. The words do in fact hurt. But obviously, I'm saying something completely different and not really... there's really no justification for this rant, to be honest. I'm just tired of my sister waving away her own trauma and validating what she went through simply because she can't remember it. She doesn't understand how her actions affect others. It's disgusting. And rich people actually don't seem to understand that either. That there are people out there suffering, not able to survive because of their policies and because corporations are more important than a human life, right? I hate this country. I don't think I actually hate it, to be honest. I think I just want it to be better. I want it to stand for what it says it stands for. I want our country to have some level of credibility. But we have to earn it if we do ever get it back. We have to earn it, and I am willing to earn a lot of shit. I can earn so much, but there is a limit to what I can and can't handle. And honestly, I want my sister to validate her trauma so she actually works through it and stops being so selfish. I know she's been through a lot, but that doesn't justify her hurting me or anyone else. And if anyone's wondering if she's hurt me recently, she hasn't. But I do feel like she could eventually. I'm not sure. It's frustrating when I know my sister is going through so much. And she's not even doing anything. She's been told this and that about what happened, but she doesn't believe she was traumatized before coming to the United States. The United States isn't where her trauma started. It started before her adoption. And yes, that is a thing. Why doesn't she accept that? Why isn't she admitting to it? Why am I talking about it? I thought I was supposed to move on. Hiroki, this is your fault. Even though I was responding and ranting in response to something that said. I'm pretty sure I'm going to forgive at some point. And I'm just being petty. I'm pretty good at being a petty bitch. Although I shouldn't call myself a bitch too much, because that's also damaging. It is still a slur, to be honest. Just because I'm willing to call myself one doesn't mean it's not still a slur. And since it is a slur, I should be careful what I call myself. But it's hard, because you know what? I hate that words hurt. Because I don't even know how I'm supposed to fix myself. I'm the one that is responsible for this. I don't know how I reverse it. I just know I'm privileged somehow. And here we are, back at last where I was this is where I left off. Okay, since this is where I left off, let's continue. Why must I, the great Wakamitsu, have to come and pick up a loser like you? I'm having some trouble getting my head around it. I'm having trouble understanding why I'm so loud. Aren't I supposed to be calming down? Oh my god. No, I'm being too loud again. Shut up. That's all I need. Clean yourself up with that. Wipe off the stench of defeat. You can't argue with the results of a card fight. Oh really? What about when you argue with the results of a card fight? Actually, I'm not sure he ever does. I really have no recollection that he ever does this. But we're going to move on. And now that you've lost, we've got to make sure you stay out of sight for a while. Oh my god! Now this reminds me of something. Myojin, you need to pay for what you've done. What? What do you mean? You can't do that to me. I am a hero. I'm Hiroki Moriyama, the Crusader for Justice. I can't let a villain like that do this to me. Uh-huh. You are not a Crusader for Justice. You're a delusional brat that needs to go to timeout. This isn't fair. We're about to begin a new experiment on some of the units. From now on, I work alone. Are you sure that's wise? I'll be fine. Footsteps. I told you I don't need you. Let me fill the space left by your missing glove. Luna. Hiroki Moriyama? I can't get away right now. We can talk about it tomorrow after the branch manager's conference. And after that, I can explain more about your father. Okay, thanks. I know it's a bit early, but dinner's on the table. Mukuru, What if, and it's a really big if, what would you do if my dad was still somehow alive? You know, one day I'm going to listen to this video and it's going to start making me cry. Why? Well, because eventually I have to go through the 5 stages of grief with, actual human beings. I'm 31, you know what that means. It's very painful to acknowledge this every now and then, you know? Especially when I'm kind of thinking about it too much. Let's continue. Huh? Slam. What? Chrono. She knew too? How come everyone seems to know about it but me? Dude, that hurts. Chrono is just like, why would anyone keep this a secret from him? This is messed up. This is so messed up. Oh my god, get away! Why are you over here? I like how I'm treating him like he's some kind of... I mean, he did cause a lot of this. He was behind a lot of the shit that I went through. And I know people may not necessarily believe the... People may not believe all of my story, but I do believe that my experiences are still realistic enough to reach someone. I mean, I'm not exactly going to say that everyone should believe me, but I'm at least hoping that some people do. I'll just say that. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this video. I know it was mostly a rant for some reason. I don't know why the video became that, but we're going to move on. And yeah, we're about to see some pain. Why can't I just discuss everyone else's pain in this story? Why does it have to be me and my pain? I mean, honestly, I could just talk about Shion's pain and that'd be legit. I know what I confess and all that, but how many people actually believe me? I don't know. I've never asked, and I'm not really going to. I know that the number would be depressingly low, and I know that I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm getting myself into a lot of shit, but the risk is worth taking. I can't be silent about everything forever. If I want real friends, I should be myself in public somewhere. Dear God, I know that it's not illegal to at least say this and that. I can say a bunch of ridiculous stuff, at least in the eyes of other people. And that's not inherently illegal, is it? Anyway, guys, I'm going to move on and come back in the next video. I think it might be the last that I'll be recording for the day, but who knows? I just hope I stop being so loud if I do come back and record again. Dear God. How am I able to be so loud? Oh, right. I'm supposed to end the video. Well, damn.